In the Gun, episode 119 of your new favorite WVU football podcast, and it is time for our Week 12 Pick'em. We are coming down the home stretch, the penultimate week of the college football regular season. You know how to sneak that one in there. I am Wesley Euler with the best teammates in the business. I got the beer truck running away down the sideline, big dog Owen Schmidt, and the signal caller Jed Drenning. This episode of ITG, as always, brought to you in part by our friends at BetOnline, where the game starts. Gentlemen, before we get into the recap of how we did last week, how our listeners did, all these different things, our picks for this week, some pretty cool news. Beanie Bishop, pardon me, our own ball-hawking defensive back. See, I tried to say that really fast, and it Beanie Bishop, ball-hawking, Beanie Bishop, ball-hawking defensive back, has been named as a semi-finalist for the Chuck Bednarik Award. Pretty nice recognition to the solid season that Beanie's having, Jed.
You know, last week when Schuyler and I were on with Phil, oftentimes we talk to Phil off air, before, after, and Phil sits in on all these All-American teams, right? These different awards, different All-American honors, and it's coming up to the time that he's part of those panels. So we were making as compelling a push as we possibly could for Beanie. We're like, hey, make these guys alert to the fact that he's done this, he's done this, he's done that. And Phil appreciated it. He said, hey, I'm going to push hard. I'm going to push hard. Let's see where this goes. So Beanie is having a special season. We talked about how often he's targeted. We talked about why that is. As a boundary corner, it's going to happen. He was targeted 8 times against Oklahoma. You're going to give up some plays. It's all about how you respond after giving up those plays. You have to have a short memory. He gave up some plays against Oklahoma, but he made some plays against Oklahoma. He is now putting himself in a different stratosphere from a standpoint of playing the ball in flight. Guys, when you look at his numbers, we mentioned last week, he was in position to make a run at Brian King's school record of 21 pass breakups in a season. He now has 19. Guess who the second place defender in the Big 12, how many they have? Beanie has 19.
12.
9.
Wow.
9. Beanie has 23 passes defended. Second place defender in the Big 12 has 12.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Now, if you look at all of FBS, Beanie leads the nation in pass breakups with 19. Number 2 in all of FBS is 14. 23 passes defended for Beanie. All of FBS, number 2 is 16. He's going to lap some of the national leaders. I mean, that's the kind of season he's having. But the truth of the matter is this. He has 4 picks. He's dropped 2 or 3 picks. You could even make an argument he could have had one against Oklahoma. It would have been a tougher pick, but it was in play. To make some of the All-American teams, unfortunately, for good or for bad or otherwise, that's the one stat that there's more focus put on. Irrespective of how much you're helping your football team by playing the ball in flight with passes defended and, you know, racking up those critical incompletions, they look more heavily at interceptions. So I still think he's one or probably a couple picks away from having a real shot. Now, guys, I'm telling you, if he ends up with 2 more picks and one of them's a pick 6, game, set, match, he's an All-American because these other numbers then fall into place. But we'll see how it shakes out. But he's having a heck of a year for us. He was a great addition out of the portal. The reason that we signed him is he demonstrated at Minnesota and even at Western Kentucky before he got to Minnesota, the ability to play the football in flight, which is something we struggled mightily to do last year. We've talked about it. We were 123rd in the country in passes defended as an entire team defense last year. He has spearheaded an effort that's put us, you know, among the national leaders in both PBUs and passes defended almost single-handedly. So he has been a tremendous addition both on the field and the locker room. You could use a whole lot more portal additions like Beanie Bishop.
I like how you close with that, Jed. That's exactly what I was going to say. Let's hope we continue. You know, that becomes the norm, finding guys like Beanie, because, man, he has been a fantastic addition and exactly what this secondary needed in this 2023 campaign.
Well, I'll add this, Wes. The 2 tackles he made, and this is what I'm going to mention to Phil, too, as he's out, you know, rubbing shoulders with these All-American voters. The 2 tackles, he made 2 touchdown saving tackles against Oklahoma. 2 of them. I mean, everybody's going to probably remember the one on the 50-plus yard completion that he chased the kid down from the backside. But there was also one in the red zone that was an incredible play. But not to interrupt, sorry about that, but that needs to be part of this conversation as well. He's doing more than just playing the ball, Wes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's all part of that, that big picture. That's why he's one of the semifinalists for this award. And happy for Beanie that he's getting some national recognition here as well, too, not just from us in Mountaineer Nation. All right, this is the Week 12 Pick'em edition. A quick thank you to our friends at Fortis, our buddy Rick Lewis, the best commercial roofing business in the country for roof performance and financial certainty guaranteed. Make sure you visit fortis.us.com. All right, recap of how we did last week. Jed, lay it on us, partner.
Let's start with my passing offense. I picked as my signal caller offense of the week last week, the Big 12 offense. To throw for the most yards, I picked TCU, desperately hoping they could pull the upset against Texas. They came close, but they did not. They threw for 302 yards in a tight game with Texas. They stormed back. That's 3 weeks in a row. Texas has blown a 20-point lead at some point in the game. Does that sound like a playoff team? I don't think so. So TCU ends with 302 yards. That was good for third because Texas threw for 317 to finish number 2. And some team in Crimson and Cream threw for 423 to lead the way in the Big 12. So I am awarded 3 points for my effort. Let's go to Owen. Do you want to talk about this?
Sure, why not? Team touchdown, Toothman touchdown camp 2023. Let's talk about it.
You like it? Okay, I like it. You like my shirt? Those listening,
Yeah, I do.
not watching, I have a Toothman shirt on.
Yeah, Owen,
Owen,
how in
you
the
picked-
how in the bleep did Oklahoma State only rush for 52 yards against UCF?
But I'm telling you, I'm not an expert, and I know that for sure. But I'm
I'll tell you how.
I'm shocked.
You want to know how?
Shocked.
I know how. The Kenny Rogers shake the dice dance move curse has moved from me to the beer truck. That's how.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened. I
That's
picked
how
the
he
worst
has the
team.
curse.
I think I've picked the worst team twice this year.
So you are docked a point for finishing 14th, -1, which I'll tell you what, that hurts you in this tight race among you leaders.
Buddy, I know. And you know what? I was close. Not so fast, my friend. No closer anymore.
Not so fast.
Not so fast at all. And I'll say this, I wonder if it'll make you feel better. And answer to your question, who could have seen that coming? Well, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, way into the double digits among our listeners and viewers picking Oklahoma State to rush for the most yards. So you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of people thought that was going to go much differently than it did. I tell you what.
Instead, it was the team they played.
If you
Funny how that worked.
knew Oklahoma State was going to finish with 52 rushing yards against the worst rushing defense in the Big 12, you need to be doing something else. You're either from the future, or you better be picking lottery numbers, one or the other.
Yeah. Let's be honest. You just hit the wrong button when you were filling out our Google Docs form.
Absolutely.
Is what happened.
Because there was no sensible reason to pick that. Okay, so anyway, that's how that shook out. So let's move on to let's go. Wes, your defense. You picked Iowa State. Good choice. They allowed 13 points. Iowa State playing good football. Is it going to be good enough under the lights at Jack Trice Stadium against those Longhorns who like to blow 20-point leads? Go Fighting Rocco Becks this Saturday night. Wes, that was good enough for a second-place tie. Texas Tech and a stunner in Lawrence. Not a very good road team at all. Went on the road in Lawrence and knocked off those Jayhawks. But the fewest points allowed in the Big 12 this week, the UCF Golden Knights in a 45-3 stunner over Oklahoma State, allowed 3. So, Wes, you finished in second. Second place tie is good for 4 points. Ding, ding to you. Schuyler, This won't be a very long conversation. Schuyler finished in a first-place tie. He picked a certain team, then ended up scoring 59 points. Now, before Mountaineer Nation turns on Schuyler, he did not pick Oklahoma. He picked Kansas State. There were 2 teams in the Big 12 this week that scored 59. Kansas State was one of them, so he gets finishes in the first-place tie. Ding, ding, ding. So, the full Monty 7 points. That's the second week in a row Schuyler's hit the
rolling.
jackpot with the full 7. Boy, you talk about storming from behind. It's like he's playing Texas.
Yep.
So, Wes, do you want to take a look at the standings there?
Updated standings here. Jed still our caboose with 14 points. Owen in third with 23 points. Then it's tight. There's been some separation at the top of the table here. Schuyler, 34 points, right on my heels. And in the honor of the beer truck, I've got 35 points.
The only man that I still have a chance at is Owen. I mean, that's
the penultimate week.
I can't lose to Jed.
You're all right.
Come on,
you're all
right.
One.
You can do
it.
You got the
curse
going. You got the curse going.
Lose.
Do not underestimate the curse. Do not underestimate the curse. Sorry. Let's hit the viewers, and then we'll go to break and come back.
Yeah, not a great week for our viewers, I tell you, Jed.
No, it wasn't. It was not. We had 2 viewers pick 2 right. One of them was Chris Bennett, who picked Oklahoma to throw for the most. Shame on you, Chris Bennett. Come on. And Kansas State to score the most, or to hold. Let me see here. Kansas State to, let's look at this. The fewest points. That might not be right because he picked Kansas State, it looks like, for defense. So anyway, let's jump down to, either way, Chris Bennett, it's worth a shout out because you got one of them right, or maybe 2 of them. Brian Gray, I know you're going to ask, Owen. Brian Gray, looks like he got a couple right. So shout out to Brian Gray. But you know what, guys? It's when you look at this, that beer truck of the week was very elusive. Nobody picked UCF. That usually it's like 15 people picking, the correct, offense to run for that, but they didn't come close.
Yeah.
We had in the passing category, this is the most that we've had. 4 got that right. Let me see. Oh, in the defense, I don't see a UCF. In the offense, anyway, this was tough sledding for our viewers and listeners. This was tough sledding this week for viewers and listeners, just like it was tough sledding for everybody except Schuyler on the team. And you did all right. You finished second. And by my standards, scoring what I have 3. By my standards, that's a golden week. But Owen, I hate to tell you, brother, the Kenny Powers roll the dice, toss the curse. Curse has moved to you. So who you get a curse next week? You pick Cincinnati. We need it.
Hold on. Now, don't put the cart before the horse. Now, just relax.
That's right.
All right, just relax.
Shake the dice.
Just relax, okay?
I'm kind of upset you took my curse from me. That was the only thing I had going.
How do you listen? You don't know, all right? You ain't bewitched over here. You don't know where the curse is at. I'm doing the Matthew McConaughey fairy dust.
It was in Orlando. That's where it was this week. Because nothing short of a curse can explain anything that happened in Orlando.
Ain't that the truth? My goodness. Come on, Cowboys. Don't mess this up, all right? You got a chance to stick it to the Sooners their last year in the conference here. Don't mess this up, okay? You took care of business head-to-head. Don't mess it up now. A final thank you to JR and our friends at Toothman Ford. We all know cars cost less in Grafton. Support Toothman. They support our athletes. They support this podcast. We all know cars cost less in Grafton. All right, quick break here. Team Toothman touchdown camp.
I'm flashing the colors, man.
I love it. Quick break here, and we'll be back with our picks for Week 12 on the other side. You are in the gun.
Nobody supports the blue and gold Mountaineers like Toothman Ford. With over 20 NIL deals and counting, Toothman Ford continues to rally behind our student athletes. And it's time we rally and support the dealer that supports the Mountaineers. Not only does Toothman Ford offer the best prices in the state on pre-owned, their never over MSRP campaign on new Fords guaranteed to save you thousands. Drive with pride all season long, knowing you're supporting the dealer that fuels our Mountaineers. Toothman Ford, where cars cost less, in Grafton and at toothmanford.com.
For more West Virginia Mountaineer football content, be sure to follow us on Twitter @InTheGunPodcast.
For nearly 20 years, Fortis has been the nation's leader in providing guaranteed roof performance programs for commercial buildings. Fortis offers roof performance solutions that feature extensive initial and ongoing reconditioning for commercial buildings as an alternative to traditional replacement, with long-term performance guarantees that are backed by global leader Lloyd's of London. Fortis offers a comprehensive range of roof performance management programs that provide financial security, extend the life of our customers' roofs, and make a significant impact on ROI. Fortis is currently improving performance and increasing ROI for customers at more than 4,800 locations, with more than 140 million square feet protected, including many Fortune 500 companies that have turned to Fortis to save money, gain financial certainty, and extend the life of their existing roofs. Fortis has helped customers save more than $520 million in capital roof replacement costs for an average ROI of over 250%. To learn more, visit fortis.us.com. Fortis, roof performance and financial certainty guaranteed.
Let's go, Mountaineer fans. You're tuned in to In the Gun with Wes, the Runaway Beer Truck, and the Signal Caller.
Back in the gun here, it's time to make our penultimate pick'em selections as we get ready for week 12 of the college football season. This obviously focusing on the Big 12 as we will all make our gambit of selections here. Jed, we're doing this gentleman's way, all right? From the back of the list to the front. So once again, you lead us off here, partner. Who you got? Who's your Signal Caller offense? Who's going to throw for the most yards in the conference this week?
I'm hoping the ickiness of the curse is still stuck on Oklahoma State as they leave Orlando, go back to Stillwater, and head to Houston. So the Cowboys, with the 14th ranked pass defense in the Big 12, I'm going to pick Donovan Smith and the Houston Cougs.
Oh, no.
He only had 100 yards passing. So I'm going to pick Houston to throw for the most yards against Oklahoma State, who's dead last in the league against the pass. What did we talk about last week? The only thing that might eventually catch up to Oklahoma State, and we said this elsewhere last week, was having the 14th ranked defense in the Big 12 overall. So it finally caught up to them. I'm going to say maybe having the 14th ranked pass defense catches up to them against Houston. I know what Dane is like after he barely has 100 yards passing, which he did. So let's see what kind of bounce back game they have.
Oh God, I can't do it. All right, listen. I can't have the Sooners in the conference championship game. Oklahoma State, don't mess this up. But I'm worried that Jed might be onto something here. All right, Big O, from the air to the ground, beer truck of the week. Which offense is going to run for the most yards in the conference in this Week 12 slate?
My head's spinning here, dog. I'm going with. I'm going to do Oklahoma against BYU.
Threw the Kenny Powers dice.
I threw it, dog.
I think it's good. I think that's good. I was thinking you were going to go with one of the Oklahoma schools here. I don't think you can go wrong with either. That's
see
a
the
good
group
10
chat
a.m.
was.
10 a.m. start there in what is it, Provo, right?
Look what Owen said to me. We put the standings in the group
geez.
chat, and he said Jed is tanking. Yeah, I'm going for the first overall pick. I'm going to take.
Hey, I didn't say you were tanking. Schuyler said that, dog.
Oh, Schuyler said it. That's right. Oh,
Jed,
yeah, you just laughed at it. I got you. Okay.
Jed is tanking. Jed is
Yeah.
tanking for Caleb Williams. All right, the rest of us were
Caleb Williams.
The rest of us are focused on a trophy here still as well. All right, so Jed goes Houston for passing offense. Owen goes Sooners for rushing attack. Schuyler is also going to go with the Sooners as well, too, as his Big 12 offense of the week. Who's going to score the most points? Again, that 10 a.m. start out there in Utah against BYU. I wonder what those fans will be like for a 10 a.m. kickoff. They'll probably be serving brunch throughout the stands and like inviting everybody to take naps on like in the RV and things like that. That'll be an early one out there.
Hey, BYU
for
plus
the BYU
8 turnover
fans.
margin at home. But
yeah, well, they are 24-point dogs at home to the Sooners.
Yes, they are.
There on Saturday morning. And finally, I will make my pick for Big 12 defense of the league. Who's going to put the clamps down, give up the least amount of points? Jed, it stops here. Texas is my pick. this week, all right? They're not going to get out to a big lead and then give up 3 touchdowns out of nowhere this week to the Cyclones. I know what I'm doing here. I know Jack Trice Stadium is where hopes and dreams go to die, and this is a Saturday night game at Jack Trice Stadium and a team, the Texas, that has a lot of hopes still on the board. College football playoff still on the board, Big 12 title, all these different things. I know the history, but Texas is going to get it right this week. Texas is going to go there and put the clamps down on the Cyclones. Give me the Longhorns as my
just so I understand
defense of the week.
Okay, now, just so I understand this, you are in a 1-point race with Schuyler. You have 35. Schuyler has 34.
Correct.
And for an offense, he picked Oklahoma, and for a defense, you picked Texas. That's what we have to live with this week.
Little Red
now,
River.
Schuyler, bear in mind, you're listening. I did say they're +8 at home in turnover margin, BYU, but they were -3 last week against Iowa State. So maybe that's a trend. I don't know. But wow, you guys are going with Oklahoma and Texas in the most meaningful matchup in our pick'em of the year. Wow. This thing just stinks to high heaven. Doesn't it, Owen? You picked Oklahoma too.
He did. I thought about going Mountaineers.
Oklahoma just put the cheek beating on us. All right, dog. And I don't know what's going on with Oklahoma State right now. They might bounce back. I don't know. But after that beating, who knows what's going on? I don't even know if the team even knows what's going on after that.
Maybe I'm just speaking this one into existence because I want Texas to, if it happens, go beat up on Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. But
remember the last time they were there, Wes?
Texas?
You remember the last time they were there? Yeah, in
they
Ames.
played in Ames. I don't know. I thought you were talking Big 12 championship.
It was like 10-7 at the half or something, and they got beat 30-7, and that's with the altercation on the bus with the coach and the player. Remember?
Right.
Yeah, that was that game.
Yeah.
That was that game.
Geez.
It was a night game in Ames. Yeah, 2 years ago.
A lot of funky things happen in night games in Ames, but not this time. Not so fast. Let's not talk about it. All right, let's move on. I'm going Longhorns. So there you have them. There's our Week 12 Pick'em edition. Of course, the link is always available in the YouTube description, also available on our Twitter account at In the Gun Podcast. It's the pinned tweet that's right there every single week. That's how you can get involved. We do have our Neil Armstrong, our Aussie buddy Jake being the first 4 for 4, but we're looking for our Buzz Aldrin. We're looking for our Robin to Batman there.
You know what else we're looking for? Our first American. Our first American to go 4 for 4. We have an Aussie that beat all the Americans to it.
Someone on North American soil to go 4 for 4. That's right. We
need a West Virginian. We need a West Virginian to go 4 for 4.
That's right, we do. And maybe this will be the week as we're starting to run out of time here. So get involved. You can only win if you play, right? And so on our Twitter account in the YouTube description is where you can find the link to get involved every single week. That'll do it for this edition of ITG. Thanks to our guy Schuyler for putting this all together as always. I'll tell you what, seat on the throne is getting hot here. It feels like an episode of Game of Thrones, man. Schuyler is coming for my Iron Throne, I tell you. I'll see if I can hold him off before the White Walkers get here in a couple weeks. We'll see how this goes. One thing we ask of you, as always, is to be an ear and tell an ear about your new favorite WVU football podcast. Spread the good word for us here as we're coming down the home stretch of the regular season. We will have your Cincinnati preview tomorrow, and, of course, Phil Steele on Friday, as always, with the czar of college football. Been a lot of fun. We'll keep it rolling for the Signal Caller, Jed Drenning, and the Runaway Beer Truck, Owen Schmidt. I am Wesley Euler. Thanks for listening. You've been In the Gun.